Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the coffee stream. We're back, bitches. Today I'm dark. Today I'm joined by dark little voices.
I mean, you are kind of dark, but yeah. Hello, everybody.
And Mr. R.
Howdy, everyone.
And we got Sydney here. Good morning, Sydney. Apparently she's been here since 9 this morning. Not realizing it's supposed to be at 10. Oh, I set the time wrong. That's my bad. I did it wrong. Yeah.
Smooth.
I put it for 7 when it was supposed to be 8. My bad. That's my bad. I just realized it now.
How dare you?
I know. It's not like I was
That
gone
poor
for a
Cindy
month.
here for like an hour.
She's like, it's supposed to be live. It says it's supposed to be live. It says right there. My bad. I blame it on old age and bad memory.
Eh. That's all I could say to it, bleh.
I don't even have kids to blame it on. I blame it on Lulu. Lulu, it's your fault. I mean,
What?
she doesn't even have. She has her back to me. She's not even looking at me. It looks like my dog almost gave up on life. What do you do when a dog gives up on life?
I guess take it to a vet, but I'm not going to say anything past that because it'll get real dark real quick.
Well, you are the dark little voices. I mean, isn't that your job?
Yeah, but, you know, I mean, there's also YouTube, which is darker than that, so...
Fair has taken our hopes and dreams and thrown them to the wolves.
Yeah, at least I just do it to creep people out. Then there's YouTube that's just like, no, I have to destroy your hopes and dreams.
Hopes and dreams? That costs money here, buddy.
Oh, man.
I can't
I
believe
feel
a month's
so
gone.
hungry.
Why didn't you eat food?
That's the thing. I feel like I ate a couple of chips, and then I can't remember if I ate anything else.
You probably just ate that couple of chips, and that's why you're hungry. I'd offer you my Cheerios, but they're all gone. They were also pretty soggy by the end there, so they weren't that great.
Well, then you serve me no purpose.
You can eat the bowl.
You know what? I was going to say who would eat the bowl, but I'm pretty sure there are people out there that eat glass, so...
There is.
ceramic, or whatever the bowl is made of.
Like Willy Wonka eating the teacup. It turns out the bowl is actually like made out of candy or something.
Apparently
Yeah,
it's actually
pretty much.
made out of wax. That teacup he ate.
Oh, delightful.
Yeah, apparently it was disgusting. Yeah, there's some things in that movie that looks absolutely wonderful and amazing, but in reality, apparently it was actually pretty disgusting. Like the chocolate water, whatever they did, it smelled really bad. So yeah, no, it wasn't. That movie looks really fun, but it would have been a nightmare to work on it. I was gonna say, did you hear about the guy who ate a whole plane? Every part of the plane?
Oh, this isn't a joke. This is real?
Yes, legit. He didn't do it in one sitting. He ate it over a course of a few months or something. But yes, he ate a whole plane. Yes.
Oh, who ate a whole plane? I'm sorry, I got distracted with my son wanting to randomly ask me what my favorite animal was.
What was your answer?
I eventually said Komodo dragon. Because they are badass. It's just, you know, obviously you can't own one.
No.
For reasons.
Piece
Who was eating planes?
Piece by piece, Loto ate an entire Cessna 150 airplane between 1978 and 1980. A few years on, in Guinness Book of Records in 1984, Lotus was noted to have consumed a supermarket trolley, 7 TV sets, which, you know, those are the tube ones, in addition with a bicycle and a low-calorie calzone. He has previously been recognized for. I believe he is dead now.
I would imagine so. I mean, like, the fact that the plane didn't kill him.
Nope.
Jesus.
There's also a picture of him with the plane parts and the plane behind him, and he has a nice suit on and everything as he's about to eat the plane. I watched a document on the guy who ate that plane. Good morning, September. Actually,
Welcome, September.
He is September now, because it actually is September.
Yeah. Goddamn time.
He only gets to be September Dragon Audio one time a month. Otherwise, he's whatever month it is.
Pretty much.
I don't know why I started that.
No one to blame but himself.
Yeah, he did this.
The good thing about the internet is that it always brings us jewels of weird, bizarre things that just make us shake our head and realize just how bizarre, strange, and depressing the world actually is.
I don't know. He ate
Much
a
in
whole
nutshell.
plane. He could somehow afford a plane, and then he ate it.
I don't know what possesses you to wake up one day and say, man, I'm so hungry I could eat a plane, and then you actually do it.
Well,
You look over at your wife and you go, you know what, honey? I got a dream. I am going to eat a plane. And then she looks over and pats him on the hand and says, I support you in this decision.
Just make sure you update your life insurance.
No, they said after I ate the trolley, I can't have life insurance anymore.
My God.
The internet is a strange and interesting place. Yes, it is. Also, all I can think of is your body is not meant to digest any of that. And
No.
all I can think of is sharp pieces.
Right?
But if I remember correctly, there was something strange about him, too. Like, digestively speaking. He definitely had that disease where he wants to eat things that you're not supposed to eat. I can't remember.
Pika.
That's it.
Go.
Usually it's like hair or dirt, but planes, that's different. That's some next level stuff right there.
Planes, trolleys, a low-calorie calzone.
It's like a Ballard novel, like a J.G. Ballard novel. Some weirdo just becomes obsessed with planes and wants to like eat them.
Maybe that's what happened to the train kid. He decided that he liked trains so much he wanted to eat them. That's why I haven't heard from him since, because he tried to eat a train.
What is this? I'm lost.
Have you ever seen ASDF? It's like little short videos of animated things.
No, I have not. This is new to me.
Okay, you have to watch them because they're quite funny. They're older, but one of them's train kid, and he just goes, "I like trains," and trains will appear. And they're just the reason we haven't heard from him since is because he liked trains so much he tried to eat one, and it didn't work out.
I'm an old man. I just remember Zombie Jonathan. I like turtles. That was a thing back when I was a kid. They're just interviewing this little kid who's dressed like a zombie, and he goes, I like turtles.
They asked him like what he liked about the park or something. He said, like, I like turtles or something like that. He didn't even answer the question from remember. Hey, Dark Horse Tales, welcome. It's been a while since I've seen you.
Hello, Dark Horse. It's
the other Dark that I accidentally thought was supposed to be on once because I typed in Dark and I didn't click the right
Yep, how dare you.
That's like over a year ago.
I had one job. One.
Dude, I have more than one job. I run my whole YouTube channel all by myself. I don't have another little voice to help me out.
Yeah.
I had to get good and make my voice male. It's not that good. It's really bad. My male voice is really bad.
It's okay. You probably don't want to hear my female voice either, so.
I've heard it.
I can't do narration. I tried doing it for Jimmy Horrors, my friend, and it was so bad he had to redub the whole thing, the poor guy.
Oh no.
So you all have my respect off the bat because I cannot do I don't have the equipment. I don't have the setup. I don't have the editing down. I can't do any of it. So you're all ahead of me.
To be fair, I've had a lot of practice. If you ever heard my first video, I've had a lot of practice. I've had people go back and go, "Oh my god, this is where you start." I'm like, "Yep." I don't know what I was doing. I had no clue what I was doing.
Sometimes I get curious if people actually do that for our channel.
They might. It depends. Some people like to hear how people have gotten better. I've actually recently, someone has decided to go through all my 2 sentence horrors. There's like almost 1,000 of them now.
Oh my god.
And they're like commenting like, "Oh, explain this one." So I have to listen to it because I can't remember what I read anymore. I barely can remember the day after I make them. And so I'm like, I listen like, "Oh my god, this is so bad." I'm like, "Wow, I've even got better at these."
Apparently, September has tried to sound feminine at one point, and it did not work out either.
Did not work.
Feel you, buddy. I really do.
It's hard to change the gender. It's a little bit easier sometimes for the female to go male, but normally not the other way around.
That's what I feel like.
But that's because
Like, you could kind of get away with it, especially like if it's a line where a kid is the boy is like maybe 11 or 12. So yeah.
His voice hasn't dropped yet.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, I've done some. Kids are easier for me, but yeah, no, I just try to deepen my voice. And anyone says anything, I'm like, I'm one person. I tried to change my voice as much as I can, but I got a secret for you. I'm a female. I'm not a male. It's not happening.
So, Mr. R, what do you typically do?
Well, I write stories. I draw comics, kind of, sort of. I like giving stories to people who narrate them. I like trying to get them published, but that usually doesn't work out. I draw horror pictures. I draw horror comics. That's about it, man.
Oh, okay. I just never really got to ask because I'm
That's
usually
cool, man.
busy doing something else.
Dude, running this is, I'm sure running a YouTube channel is a giant commitment. And I always feel bad for narrators because that's a lot of work for very little views. And you all have my utmost respect, you two here and anybody listening, because, dude, people take it so for granted. Not just the writing of the stories, but the narrating, the editing, the putting it up on YouTube, editing it again because YouTube's a piece of shit and they want to like flag you for saying a naughty no word. Naughty no words, guys. And so, it's a lot of work, man. I fully appreciate it, but I am terrible at all of it. I am terrible with technology. I'm a freaking caveman. I'm descended from people from the southeastern part of the United States. I have much more Neanderthal DNA than most individuals. And man, I've given up. Even my art is traditional. I had to teach myself how to like be a draftsman and how to ink and do all that shit.
Okay. I mean,
I was gonna say.
I used to try to do animation, so I mean, I imagine just doing some comics as well is difficult in its own right too.
It can be. It probably is easier for people that are better at art. I'm kind of trying to reteach myself because I haven't really just like sat down and practiced consistently for long periods of time. A, because I'm lazy, and B, because I was in grad school for a good long while. So now I'm just kind of practicing every day as much as possible to see if I can actually produce something that doesn't make people's eyes bleed.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you do anything. My eyes just bleed. It's just the state I'm always in. I mean, what?
The side effect of being a horror narrator, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get into this gig every day is the Ark of the Covenant, you know?
True. It's been nice though that Decay is little by little allowing me to use the little ones for voices too. So in upcoming videos, we'll probably have them on too.
Just make sure that there's nothing too bad that they're saying. I mean, it is horror. Just make sure they only can see their lines.
Daddy,
I know.
why is half your face a skull? It's just a cost of doing what you love, sweetheart.
I mean, to be fair, Decay raised him from the grave and went, you know what we should do? We should raise a family. And then went to the other graveyard.
It was love at first fright.
Pretty much.
Necromancer jokes. They never go away. They just keep rising to the top.
Get out.
Okay, I'll see you guys later.
I guess I'm taking over yet another channel. So, hello everybody.
It's okay, I'll just let 2 or 42 take over. 242 will go on break. It'll sound oddly the same, but yet slightly different. I do love how the original idea was they were just supposed to be other personalities of me, and then they became their own beings. I was like, this is just confusing. Damn it. Too late now, committed.
But yeah, you all have my respect. I can't really do voices. I've tried just kind of goofing off, but it never worked out. I actually submitted like a voice sample to Puppet Combo. They wanted a voice for something, and I sent it, and they just didn't even respond back. So whatever.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I've tried. I can't do it.
I've just had a lot of practice. I didn't start doing it
Same.
until I started narrating. So this is more of a newer skill. But then again, I always like joked around and made like stupid, goofy voices. So I guess, but I never like tried to copy anyone. I can't do the imitating thing. You know, where people like imitate other voices perfectly. I'm like, yeah, no, that ain't me. Nope, can't do that.
Yeah, I was on my way to doing that, and then, well, I had kids, so I had to stop. I couldn't really practice as much.
You still practice. You're stuck at work for like 8 hours without. Actually, is the store open when you're doing that? Someone
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Is the store open when you're at work, or is it closed?
It's closed, thank the gods.
Okay, then you can just start making funny voices while you're on the hour. Who cares? There are other Walmart employees. Who gives a fuck? Look, you're stuck at a shift for 8 hours where no one really, except for your other coworkers, can overhear you. Hoop it, just do it.
Nah, I don't know. I'm trying to get past that. I thought it would help with all the acting classes that I took last year. But I'm still a little, not as bad, but I'm still a little self-conscious.
Oh, I'll just come over there and start beating that out of you.
See, I work at a hospital, and before work, I'll like sketch my characters just kind of as practice. And once or twice, the charge nurse has caught me like doing the voices for the characters, and just given me this look, this horrible 1,000-yard. Horrible 1,000-yard. I'm gonna call security if you ever get fired. Stare. It's just yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna put red flags attached to this person's records.
If
Yeah.
they ever get let go / fired, call security yesterday.
Draws pictures of dinosaurs with centipedes exploding from head and does bad Ren and Stimpy impression. Yeah, that sounds serious. Yeah, let's have them escorted out if you don't mind.
What did you do? Did you get a message?
Oh, my mom is calling me.
Oh, jeez.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Do you have to go eat dinner? Is your mama calling you?
Look, if my mom called me and said, hey, I'm making dinner, get here, I'd be like, yeah, sure, sounds great. I'm gonna pay for it. I'm okay with that.
I'm being the biggest hypocrite in the world for joking purposes, because I and my wife actually live with my parents at the moment,
Oh,
because they're like in their 60s and my grandparents are like in their 90s,
oh wow.
and we're like the only people in the family that can help them take care of them. So we're stuck here till further notice.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's an old Chinese Confucian thing. We just take care of people until they go.
Actually, my mom is older than your parents, and my grandmother is at the same age as your grandparents.
Yeah, my grandma is 98 years old.
Okay, younger than that. My grandma's 92.
See, that's how I got into horror. My grandparents would just tell me these absolute horror stories of the old Gothic South in the 20s
God.
and 30s. And that's kind of where my fascination for horrifying things came from.
Reality is so much scarier than fiction. Oh my god. I read so much about history, and some of the stuff just makes me hit my head against a wall going, why was this okay? This shouldn't have been okay. Why was this okay? Just,
Well, what can I say, kids? It was a different time.
yeah. Still doesn't make some of it right.
No, indeed not. My granddad would just so he lived in the 40s and 50s, and he'll tell me stuff was just 60 years ago, 100 years ago, soon to be. It was a completely different world. Like, people just didn't, I guess, just didn't care. They just didn't process what they were doing or how it affected other people. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to explain some of the stuff he's told me.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. It's just, it's such a weird. I'm very happy I live in the day and age I live now, because I don't think I would have survived back then. I probably would have got an ice pick in the brain at some point.
Yikes.
I mean, the lobotomies were such a big thing for so long. They thought they were so good, and it's like, why is destroying the brain seen as a good thing? Why do you think that's a good thing?
It's just like one of those, it's just always that thing of, oh, well, it started off as a great thing. It was working out just fine. All of a sudden, we came in, and then they were just botching the shit out of it.
Well, see, you got to remember that, before the 1920s and 30s, electricity was like the multiverse. It was just the explanation for everything supernatural or phenomenological or whatever in the prior day. So people just thought, oh, if you just run electricity through somebody crazy's brain, they'll just magically get better. If you just take somebody who's schizophrenic, or a woman who can do math and doesn't want to get married, or anybody, really, just anybody, you just run electricity to their brain and they'll just conform to modernity standards. And that's what they did. They didn't understand it, so they just zapped people with it and hoped it worked.
They did that till
Pretty much.
I think that's still a thing. Electrotherapy. Hello, darkness.
Yeah, it's just not
darkness.
as common.
Duchess of Darkness, Duchess of Darkness, Duchess of Darkness. Not whatever I was gonna say. I'm not sure.
Oh, hey, Duchess, how you doing? I like her
Hello,
stuff.
Duchess.
And don't
also
forget
hello,
about
Demon as well.
lobotomies. Ugh.
Yeah, the Ramones started playing in my head. I'm sorry.
No.
Anyway.
Psych-
But yeah, we would just be... I'm sorry, I'm 42.
I was
I
gonna
didn't
say,
interrupt.
psychology has gotten so much further. Now we understand. Maybe if you talk to them, things will get better. Just saying.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Talking to people? Who does that?
I know.
Oh.
Again.
Yeah.
My granddad, we would just be driving around in a truck, because he had a farm, and we would just be going down the road in the middle of nowhere, and he'd just point to some field and say, "See that over there? One time, Johnny was running up and down this road, drunk and naked, screaming like a pig with his man's cut off, and Frankie's house was over there, and he put his head out the window, and he said, 'Johnny, you don't stop that yelling and screaming, I'm going to kill you.' And Johnny went all the way in this road, turned around, come back by his house again, screaming and yelling, and Johnny went out there and shot. And that was the end of the story. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. Sheriff come by the next day, said, how come he's laying in the road dead? Johnny said, I don't know. And he closed the door.
Oh my god.
It's like, what?
Wow.
Are you serious? And he would just tell me this litany of stories that were just like, and again, that's how I kind of got into horror, because it was just my childhood was just listening to him randomly. Because
Tell you
my
horrifying
grandparents helped
stories.
raise me.
Mhm.
Well, see, my grandparents helped raise me, so every summer I'd spend all my time out there, and they would just like, they were great, they were wonderful, but every now and then he'd just like see a house or a corner or a car, be like, one time, remember this fella was driving a car just like that, and he run his old lady over, and the cops come and get him, and he said she started, and they said okay, and then they just walked off. Just like these horrible stories of death and destruction that just seem to have no point.
Is it bad that at some point I wanted to be like that kind of grandpa?
Well, you better start making those stories.
Yes.
What's
Like,
my old
yeah.
man? My old man, yours just gonna be, one time I was playing the Ocarina of Time, and I started glitching out crazy. In those days, we had the N64 and had a little fucked up controller. Nobody could figure out how to use it. You had these little yellow buttons you had to hit. You had to move the camera around. It was going crazy.
And then I found Ben drowned. Sorry, that made me think
Gods.
of that.
Yeah, that's still going, man. There's something about like a cult now. I don't even know.
Oh God, no! I can't keep up with it anymore.
It's like Dragon Ball. It's like Dragon Ball Z. I just lost track, and people go, "Hey, did you know that there's this thing called Dragon Ball Super?" I'm like, I don't know. You said Dragon Ball, I'm out. I don't know. I'm an old man.
Dragon Ball Z. That was the Dragon Ball I watched. And then they've retconned a couple things. Supposedly, one of the seasons doesn't count anymore. Yep. There's now Super Saiyan God mode, Super Saiyan Blue. I don't know. My husband's more into it, and I'm all like, "Okay, him going Super Saiyan was supposed to be this superpower thing, and now there's Super Saiyan Level 2, and Super Saiyan Blue, and Super Saiyan Red," and I'm like, he ran out of ideas a long time ago. They're just milking him now.
Go read Dr. Slump. Just go read Dr. Slump, guys. It's a great comic, and as far as I know, it doesn't go on for 50,000 years. But yeah, I like Toriyama. I actually admire Toriyama because, like, you look at his art, it's really cartoony. His anatomy is not good, but he has like such an energy and such like a childlike joy that he puts to everything. It's really compelling. The manga are really compelling, especially the early Dragon Ball and Sandland and all that shit. It's really good. But like, kind of like the guy who did Yu-Gi-Oh! He got stuck in this rut and he just did it forever and ever. If I were Toriyama, dude, I would hate my life because I can barely keep up with the project for 4 or 5 years. I couldn't do it for 20. I'd get so bored. I would have ended it after the Frieza saga. You guys we would be done. I'd be on to something else by now. Be like, yeah, fanboys are going to squeal, but you know, it's over. That's it. We killed a guy who can literally blow up planets with his fingers. That's it, man. I can't do anything else. That's not good enough. You're on your own. Go read One Piece or some shit. I don't know.
Oh God, One Piece. Oh my God. Yeah. Now they have to do with the God of Destruction. That's a cat.
Yeah, I think that's what Vegeta
So wait a
is
minute.
supposedly taking place of.
Hold on a
Why he's
second.
got the red hair.
So there's a God of Destruction. I thought we called the God of Destruction Frieza. I thought that's what he was. Like,
no, he's just
just this supernatural dude who just hangs out and just goes, yes, everything is blowing up for 25,000 seasons.
No, he's not actually an evil character. He's not an antagonist. He's a cat. So, you know, he's empathetic.
That sounds about right.
He's also a hairless cat.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. There's some stuff that's come out recently, and it's just like apparently Goku was not supposed to be the one that was supposed to be sent to Earth. It was supposed to be another guy. Like, it's just like,
oh
God.
Oh yeah, no, there's a lot of lore.
That's why I lost. used to love Dragon Ball, like the entire series, and I thought it was cool that we would get different transformations and learn different things about the Saiyan race and all that. And then they started trying to revamp shit, and I'm like, I just can't. You're fucking up the timeline so bad, I can't even keep up with this anymore.
Well, my favorite is Vegeta. I hate Vegeta. The person or the planet? Because the planet they were from was Vegeta. I'm like, why? Why did you name the planet the same as the character? Though I do like Vegeta's now a good, in quotes, good guy. Because you could kind of see it at the beginning that he didn't really want to be all that bad. He was just doing that because that's what he's supposed to do. And now he's got kids. He's got 2 of them? 1 of them?
Pretty sure it's 2.
Oh, you want to know something that's really, really messed up that's actually canon?
What?
Goku has never kissed his wife.
See,
Wait,
that's the
what?
thing. That's the thing. And so Goku is like stuck in the Homer Simpson effect. Like in Dragon Ball, he was kind of stupid, but he was stupid because he was a kid.
Yeah.
And then very
Mhm.
early Z, he was not dumb. He just didn't think about things. Like he's a dude who's so in tune with like his body and his energy. He doesn't think. Like it's not that he's stupid. He just doesn't like plan shit out. He's like Yusuke Urameshi on Crank. He just does shit, and it works. But then I don't know. Right around the Frieza saga, which is my opinion is where the downward spiral started. You can fight me if you want. He just got dumber. He's like Peter Griffin. He just got dumber and dumber and dumber until now he's kind of an asshole because he's so fucking stupid that he doesn't like he doesn't know how to be a human being. He's like Beavis and Butthead dumb, where it's like, dude, how did you survive to this age and then get turned into a kid again? And you don't even know like basic things about what it means to be human. Like
He's
there's a
not
point to where you're
human.
so-
That's the
But he's lived on Earth for like 40 freaking years. Like he'd know at least a little bit about what it means to be a human being. Like his wife is a ball buster. You think she never asked him to kiss her and just demanded like all the episodes where she like convinces him to get his driver's license and bathe and all this stuff. You think never once in their, what is it now, 40 freaking years of marriage, she just went, look, you're going to kiss me like right now, or you're not getting anything. You're not getting the special thing when our son goes to bed, okay? It's not happening. You kiss me right now, you son of a gun, or I tell you what, not only are you sleeping on the couch, you're not sleeping on this freaking island in the wilderness that we live in.
No, you're not sleeping on this planet.
You at.
You can go to a different planet. And yeah, September.
But yeah,
almost.
I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. You know, it's like he's so there's being headstrong and being a little goofy. So my explanation is just that he got hit in the head so much, like
Fair.
like the tick.
Oh, he's
You
died
remember
too
the
many
tick?
times.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
the
there's
tick.
that
He got
too.
whacked in the head so many times. He just doesn't have any like short-term memory at all now.
Spoon. That's all that goes through my head when I hear tick now. Every time I hear tick.
Da.
Spoon.
Bird! Arthur, my friend, today we are going forth to deal out justice. We are the blackjack players, and we will deal out to every criminal a hand of stinking justice, by which we will enforce what is good and lawful, and those who gamble on the side of evil will always lose. Anyway, I like the tick.
Couldn't tell. I just remember, again, I haven't seen much, but my husband's like, yeah, when he became a kid again, she looked at him and went, you already weren't aging at the same speed as me, and now you're a kid. No, you have to fix this. Because
Like that's how her response originally was, and not like, oh no, now I'm technically married to a child. What do I do?
I mean, just don't tell anyone you're married. It's your kid now. Shh. Shh. Don't. Go. Whatever turned him into a kid, go get it to turn you into a kid, and then you guys will be fine. And you can restart all over again, and maybe this time not marry him. Because that seemed to have not worked out very well for you, girl. She's supposed to be like one of the strongest people on Earth, and the fact that she can't fly is quite complexing, to be honest. Because,
I don't know about that because like she didn't go through the same training as Videl eventually did with Gohan, so kind of makes sense.
Oh, come on, but what's his face can fly? Bully can fly, but she can't. She didn't get him to teach her.
I mean, we're still talking about Goku, right?
Yeah, but not
Like-
not Goku. Oh, the strongest human. The short guy that gets owned all the time.
Oh, Krillin?
Yeah.
Krillin.
I'm
Krillin
really
can-
sad that you had to say bald-headed guy. I was like, oh, that's Krillin.
Because he's always bald. Because he's a monk, a Buddhist monk.
And then one day Chi-Chi's like, okay, listen, Shotokan, I'm going shopping for groceries, all right? Just don't blow shit up until I get back.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, no, I would have been like, okay, you're teaching me how to do this. Because sometimes, I just don't want to drive anymore. I would like to just go to the grocery store, fly over there, grab my groceries, and fly back. That would be nice. I don't need gas anymore. Teach me. Let alone, she's got
Flying, so is flying like a thing you just teach people? I thought it was like an innate ability of the Saiyans, like Superman. But I mean,
But
I guess in so many, but Krillin flies. So
But
yeah,
Krillin
it must be
flies.
something you can do
Yeah.
with people.
Yeah.
I guess it's something you can teach people.
it has to be because
Can't
Krillin can do
remember
it.
if Yamcha could fly too.
I don't know. Vyamcha died. Look, the only human that's ever stayed alive is Krillin, and he's the only one I can remember. All the rest have died or disappeared at this
Well,
point.
Krillins died a few times.
Yeah,
He
but it doesn't
died to
stick.
Frieza.
It doesn't stick. It's fine. Goku's died a few times too. It hasn't stick. It's fine. And I mean, truth be told, Krillin got with a super hot android. I mean, he won.
did.
He won.
Is she an android? I've always been confused about this point because it's like, I think didn't Goku mention that she can't possibly be an android if they have kids? Didn't he mention this
He made
plot hole?
He
yeah,
made
then I think
a
Krillin tried to
wish.
PG-13 explain this to Goku.
He's never kissed a girl apparently.
Yeah, no, he made a wish so she could. Because they wanted to have kids or something. He
Interesting.
He did something so they could have kids. Yeah. So.
He did a thing. Listen, Goku, I did a thing with the thing. I did a Rade with whole B kind of thing, and then we had kids.
Well, I mean, I don't even think
I hope this doesn't
Goku.
get demonetized.
I don't think Goku even knows how he had kids. Okay, they.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he's been hit in the head a fucking lot during his life as a
and died.
wandering Sun Wukong ripoff.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm sure his short-term memory, even as a Saiyan, ain't great.
Well, he's also died, and and then came back. He's just at this point, his brain is just mush. All it thinks about is fighting and how to get stronger to fight some more. The rest of it doesn't matter. And my favorite thing goes he's a terrible father. Piccolo is the father of all his kids at this point. He's raised Gohan. Why does everything have to start with a G?
See, every time Goku comes back to life, I always think of the Sam Kinison bit about Jesus being married. Hey, that's right, honey. That's where I was. I got crucified. I got killed by Romans. I died. I fought demons and the powers of hell and came back so I could get your honey-do list. Yeah.
Not for nothing, I would like to see a freaking comic where Jesus is in hell fighting demons. I think, even though I'm not a Catholic anymore, yeah, that would be pretty badass to
I'd
just
watch it.
read.
I'd read it too.
I would
The most awesome Catholic thing in the world. I hope Rixari is listening to this because she loves this show too. Is Helsing. You've ever watched Helsing?
Yes.
Fuck yes.
Oh yes, I love Helsing. God, I love Helsing.
It's such a good show.
You little kids obsessed with Dragon Ball want to watch a freaking man's anime. You watch some Helsing.
To be fair, do not go with it in mind of it being cutesy in any way. It is extreme, man. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Actually,
Make a man out of it.
my favorite thing is that it has friggin' And you can't say the word on YouTube. Vampires and German vampires is what I'm going to say. And yes. I remember seeing.
We'll just call them Austrian painter enthusiast vampires. How about that?
There you go. That one.
There you go.
Yes.
But yes, Hellsing is probably the best really violent anime that doesn't also feature things that are objectionable in a lot of other anime. And let's just not say that word too. But it's really good. It actually is legit good. As far as I can remember, there's no stupid romance. There's no really weird mommy and daddy time, except mommy doesn't consent kind of stuff. It's just straight up, there's vampires and there's violence, and it's great.
I mean, the way he treats What's-Her-Face, I mean...
You're right. I'm sorry. I mean, it does a little bit, but it's not good.
But it's more like he's just making fun of her at that point.
True.
And
yeah,
the opening scene, they're
just all shit talking. It's fine, guys.
There is a couple things. I mean, it is made for adults in mind, but nothing like overly like going to make you feel gross inside when you're done kind of feelings.
No Goblin Slayer openings here. It's nice.
God.
It's just blood. Blood and more blood.
And tears.
Yeah, lots of blood.
Some tears.
Lots of blood and tears.
And lots of swearing. I do love the priest that swears a ton.
Baby. I love that guy. He's great. He's like Nicholas D. Wolfwood times 5. I like it.
I think my favorite part, honestly, is that when they go with Alucard's backstory, it doesn't take God only knows how long before we finally like see snips and pieces enough to like put the pieces together of what happened to him, leading to him being who he is.
I still need to finish it. I
think it was like evenly balanced and it was done really well.
I've watched Hellsing Abridged. It's it's just as funny. My favorite quote is "Bitches love cannons." That's like my favorite. To this day, I just walk up to "Bitches love cannons" and then walk away. I mean,
Disney just go to somebody's funeral and just like whisper to somebody who's mourning and goes, "Bitches love cannons," and then just walk away. It's like, who the fuck is that? Why would you say that? Did the person die because of a cannon? What's going on?
Bitches love cannons. Just run away. What the fuck was that about? You open the casket.
Makes about as much sense as most things in anime, to be honest with you.
Actually, it makes more sense. Actually, in context, it does make sense. I got touches of darkness laughing. Look, if I had the choice, I would just rewatch Sailor Moon. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
That's one I saw as a kid. It didn't glom on to me. And then I saw it as an adult and I was like, oh, I get it now. Because it's when you realize she's supposed to be kind of dumb.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. Like everything clicks. Everything hinges around not being 5 and having the maturity to go, oh, it's a character arc. Oh God. Okay.
I actually
I'm with you now.
Watched Sailor Moon Crystal. She's not as dumb in it. And the English version really messed up a lot of the storyline. So I found out
I've heard
that's
that.
depressing.
I found out that Rei was never interested in Tuxedo Mask. It was always Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon was the only supposed to be the love interest. That was always supposed to be the thing. And so it was always it was a certain way they edited and everything, so that there was this extra love interest because, you know, love triangles are a thing and they're so great, instead of just like letting the story play. So Crystal is actually how the Japanese was originally written, and it's the actual proper story. And it is a little girl's like love fantasy thing, but it's way better than what the English was. And also the fact that, everyone dies at the end of the big battle in the first season, though they don't tell you that in the English version because people aren't allowed to die. It's a cartoon. Yeah, no, I always wanted to be Sailor Moon. I wanted to be Meatball Head.
That makes sense.
I wanted to be Meatball Head. I wanted to be the ditzy blonde that everyone loves somehow. I got the ditzy part properly. Didn't get the other part.
Yeah.
I mean, what? I'm a little thick-headed at times. Things go over my head that shouldn't. I'm actually very intelligent. It just people are like think I'm an idiot because it just goes over my head. Sailor Moon was September's first anime.
I can respect that.
Yeah, I remember watching Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z. I kind of sort of watched One Piece, but very quickly got over it, and I've been told it's way better if you don't watch it in English. It's so much better if you don't watch it in
Let
English.
me tell you something. No. Let me tell you something. You know that after 5,000 episodes, eventually One Piece will end.
Maybe.
And you know it's going to blow. You know it's going to be bad. It's going to be something really stupid like the real treasure was the friends that we made along the way or something freaking stupid. You know it's coming.
Oh,
So it's really just a question of how much you love the Pirates of the Caribbean world of One Piece. How much that world means to you. Because I wouldn't watch it for the story. I wouldn't watch anything that's 5,000 episodes. That's longer than the Journey to the West. No, I've read the Journey. I have it right here on my shelf. It's 4 freaking volumes long.
Yeah.
It's 4
damn.
Harry Potter novels long, all right?
Yeah.
And
it's
seriously,
old. It is old. It's one of like the original Chinese.
Ming Dynasty.
Yeah.
It's Ming Dynasty, baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's it's gonna be bad. Like it can't help it.
My husband's keeping up with it, so he has been since like it came out. So it's
God.
like, what's it at now? Hold on.
God.
Hold on. One Piece. Chapter number 1,058 chapters of One Piece plus. That is crazy to me that I don't know. My question is, how do you even plan out this? Like,
The answer is you can't. You probably could start with an ending in mind, like way in the future, but you can't actually plan out, like, what is it, 60 chapter? I don't see that, man. You can have like a really general outline that's a couple pages long, but you don't plan it. It just kind of grows and molds and deforms like a fungus that grows in the minds of weebs all over the world. And finally, it blossoms and spores. I don't know.
1,000.
I feel like that's an interesting point, though, because you don't really get to see that. Well, I didn't really get to see it that way until I started being the dungeon master for D&D, and then it's just like, yeah, I can definitely see that realistically you can have an idea of where things would start and an idea of where things end, but it's that middle that's just, you're just going to have to freeball it because there's no way in hell you can really plan it all the way to the end.
And then you have players that go, I'm going to go see the cow statue. What? No, that wasn't my plan. Don't see the... Why are you walking over to the cow statue? Cow statue just stands there and does nothing.
I gotta admit, I was a little miffed with this one session we had. I think it was the last one we had. Had set up this entire thing where they were going to explore this ghost ship, but the very second everybody else except them were starting to get possessed by something, and they just didn't go to discover it. We're like, no, we're gonna go now, and they just drove away. Never got any lore. Never figured out that there was something like worth a lot of money at the bottom of the ship. Nothing. Just drifted away. I was like, great. 3 weeks of planning for nothing.
Ghost ship. Come on, I'm a horror narrator. Go on the ghost ship.
That's what I was trying to do, damn it. And they said no. Fuck that shit, we're out.
Suddenly a wall appears in front of you. You can't seem to leave the place. It's almost like the ghost ship won't let you leave.
I was so tempted. But I was
This
like, no.
is fucking point and click rules, you motherfucker. You don't get to just walk around, okay? There's all kinds of this is 90s King's Quest point and click adventure rules. You don't get to just wander around.
There are certain things you must do, and the ghost ship is one of them. Yeah, apparently, so what you need to do is make that ghost ship appear somewhere else, and next time, they can't leave.
Oh, I had a better plan. Because, see, my original ending was that they were going to eventually find this turtle dragon and would have to fight it in order to get a wish spell from it. And that would have been the end of the campaign. But I was like, I think I'm going to adjust this a bit, and then we may be seeing this creature again along with said ship.
Apparently, Sydney just had a JW come to their door. Okay, so here's a question. Were they wearing a nice suit and had a name tag on, or wearing a nice suit with no name tag on? Because no name tag, Joe Witness. With name tag, Mormon. That's literally how you tell the difference.
Ooh, I like it. Getting some ecology from 42 on religious proselytizers.
Oh, dude. Dude, you have no clue how much I know about both of those religions. I know.
If it has
too
anything
many
to do with
things.
religion and history, she is like an entire treasure trove of knowledge. It's essentially just getting a bunch of books from a mimic, but it's good. It's good.
I'm just a biologist, unfortunately.
I love history, and history and religion are so intertwined. It's to understand why we did things, we need to also understand the religion that was the main focus to understand why people were doing what they were doing and why things were changing or not changing in some. Like, it's just
the greatest, one of the best memes I've ever seen, because I'm studying Chinese history right now. Because those who don't know, my wife is Chinese, and I like studying the history of China. We're trying to learn Chinese, but that's really slow. Anyway, point is, I'm studying it right now, and there's like a meme that goes, Liu Chang takes over and founds the Chang dynasty. 1,000 die, and a new dynasty is born. And then it's like the history of Europe, and it's like Baron Schaubenstein-Kaibenfin, the Catholic, marries the Protestant Duchess Goggetstuger-Frugenfin, and they find the town of Goggetstuger-Frugenfin and start the war of Goggetstuger-Stagentin, which kills 5,000 people and founds the tax haven of Goggetstuger-Frugenfin. That's Chinese and European history in a nutshell, really. That's the main difference.
actually you did miss one thing. Hold on.
What's that?
I need to find the name so I say it right. Hold on.
Today's sponsor is Babbel. You wanted to learn a new language? Try Babbel today. It'll cost you a dime, a nickel, and possibly your leg and life insurance. But hey, at least you learned a new language.
So, what you also forgot, at least at some part, is the Habsburg dynasty that took over pretty much the whole world by literally interbreeding. Yeah, Charles II of Spain only lived to be like 40 years old, not even. Oh, jeez. Anyways, yeah, basically the rule of thumb is at a certain point the Habsburgs, whatever they're called, they just literally married and interbreeded themselves into oblivion. They didn't take wars.
I keep hearing their name pop up. Like, I think the Habsburgs are still rich to this day. I think one of them like tried to found a cult or something. God damn it, I'm trying to remember it now because I recently heard a story about like this guy, one of the modern Habsburgs, who like founded a camp for little kids, and then he tried to turn it into like a cult or something. He was like, the dude was nuts. Like, by the way, spoiler alert: the Habsburgs and everybody descended from royalty. They may be richer than Croesus, but they're all insane. And the reason they're all insane is the same reason why they all have hemophilia, which is because they're all freaking inbred. But anyway, that's not here nor there. Point is, he tried to turn his camp into a cult. I'm trying to remember the fricker's name. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I'm old.
Habsburg dynasty, or royal German family, one of the chief dynasties of European from the 15th to the 20th century. As dukes, archduchesses, and emperors, the Habsburgs ruled Austria from 1282 until 1918. Wow. That is a long rule. Damn. All I can see is a guy with the chin. The chin. Also, yes, there will be ads running more on the live streams now. YouTube's changed a couple of things, so I saw a pop-up saying an ad will be playing shortly. I'm like, okay. I'm getting it to... YouTube's changing things.
I always wanted to do, like, not monetize YouTube videos, but do my own ads and just do crazy, wild stuff. Just that's actually, like, entertaining.
We actually had I know a narrator who did that for a little bit. He doesn't narrate anymore. Bird Priest, aka the Bird Podcast. He used to do ads, and it would be stuff like that.
For a comic. So for a comic, I had a scene where like there's like it's like a climactic scene, and the whole family of this story is gathered together, and they're asking the main character a question, and the main character looks at the reader and goes, "But first, I'd like to tell you about Raid Shadow Legends."
That's what I try to do every time 242 has me on her live stream.
Yes, he does.
Just like say some random commercial while she's like looking something up.
Today is brought to you, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Apparently Sydney has premium, so she doesn't get to see the ads. Lucky.
Yeah,
I almost
also
did the
premiums.
voice. I almost did the voice. Never mind.
Rage shout level. Yeah.
With a voice.
I don't know what voice that is, but it's a voice.
Sounds almost like Cartman. Shut up, Cartman.
Oh my god, they killed Kenny! You bastards! God, that was in every episode. I don't know if they even still kill Kenny anymore. I don't know. South Park is just a weird episode. Or weird show.
At some point there was an episode that Cartman was trying to point out that Kenny kept getting killed so many times, and everybody else was just like, come on, Cartman, if that was true, how could Kenny be alive right now? Like, oh, so we're doing this now.
My sister had the poster of the first season on how Kenny died every episode. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh my god, I actually know exactly what you're talking about. I remember that. I remember seeing it in like stores and stuff.
Yeah. I wanted it so bad. And now I don't even like South Park anymore. But though, to be told, they have done stuff. So, do you remember the actor that played Chef?
Yeah, he was a Scientologist, and then when they did that, probably, unfortunately, the most famous episode of all time, perhaps.
Yes.
He just kind of got fed up and left, and so they did an episode about. Well, anyway, let's not talk about it.
They killed him in the most unreal way. Let's just say that they basically crucified the guy. Actually, the actor who played Chef is now actually passed on. He has passed away. Well, the biggest thing was he was pissed that they were making fun of his religion. And it's just like, well, they make fun of all the other religions. Why didn't you think they were going to do Scientology? Like, 2 + 2 = duh. Like.
Well, so here's the thing. So if basically, I mean, look, so to take Jehovah's Witnesses as an example, they will go to your house and talk endlessly about like what their religion means.
Yes, they will tell you
endlessly
exactly
about what it means.
Yeah.
But like with Scientology, so their thing is they believe that if you learn the truth about their religion, like it will kill you. Like if you know about Xenu, so this is the thing that L. Ron Hubbard told people.
If you learn about
tell
Xenu,
people about Xenu, you will die. Like you'll get, what was it? You'll get the flu and you'll die or some crap.
Yes.
It's something crazy.
Yes,
but it's like if you
learn too early, you're going to die. Yes, I know. And it's just like, no, that's not. We're not going to talk about it because I don't need a Scientologist walking and following me around. Just going to say I don't.
We won't.
We won't
talk about the event.
No, we won't talk about things. I just don't want to play with them. I'm fine. They can go over there. They can stay over there away from me. Just you can have clear water like you want it. Just go away. I told you I know a lot about religion.
The thing about it though, like there's only like I don't know how many of them left. You're just I mean I don't think it's even that many. I think that's bullshit. I think there's actually less of them than that because people are always leaving. People are always leaving. Like nobody really talks about it, but it's like
there are people talking about it. Trust me. Trust me. Oh, did you hear what happened to Danny Masters?
No, I haven't heard about this bit of lore.
So Danny Masters, who was a Scientologist, or is a Scientologist, I'm not sure which, during the 70s show, was doing terrible things to women and has been finally said he's guilty, and he is now serving 30 to life in prison. And I am so happy about that because, he's totally hiding behind the Scientology. And now he is in jail for the terrible things he did and the crimes. So
there's a lot of people who are ending up in prison.
Yes. Well, there's a lot of people who are hiding. That were hiding things.
A lot of people who are still killing them with kindness, too. Gonna kill them with kindness, guys. But yeah, there's a lot of people that did terrible things that, thankfully, we've come to a point in society we can actually, like, I don't know, prosecute people who really, 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 really do deserve it. Yeah.
There's a line where we need more people, but yeah, no, it's a good thing. I'm so happy that he is.
I'm a support indie kind of guy. I really think we should probably prosecute more people because there's a lot of people that knew about it, that got up on stage and accepted awards and said absolutely nothing about any of this stuff. Like people had to know, right? Like
certain people knew.
They had to know. Like you can't. This isn't like just some.
But you can't prove that the main perpetrator is gone now, and out of everything, that's the monster's off the street. If we can take anything from it, if other people knew or had suspicions, I understand because of where he was and what power he did have at the time, people would shut the fuck up. It was threatening to mention it in any way, shape, or form. This court case, they were actually able to talk about the religion and what that had to do with why it was hidden for so long, and they were actually able to come out, and that's why they got a guilty verdict this time, because the first trial they couldn't talk about it at all. They didn't deem it important, and then they were actually able to get a witness that was an ex from the religion, and she was able to talk about the psychology and everything about the religion. And that's, I understand, like, yeah, there's probably more people that should go to jail, but if we have to take one good thing out of this, the monster is off the streets. And some of the people, yeah, they might have known, but they might have had their hands tied where they literally, if they talked about it, would have lost their friends and family and everyone they loved. And I can understand how scary that is and how you would shut the hell up about that. So,
yeah, I guess that's fair enough.
so truth be told, they've got to live with the knowledge that they kept it from the public, and hopefully their consciousness will, make them suffer in some way for that. But if they also had their hands tied where they couldn't say anything because they would have lost everyone they loved and cared about, yeah, I can understand why you would shut the fuck up about it. You wouldn't say anything, and I completely get that. You self-preservation over everything else. You have to take, because realistically speaking, everyone is, the most important person to them is their loved ones and themselves. And you're going to take care of you before you take care of others. If it's safe to do so, yes, definitely. But
That's
if it's
a fair point.
not, yeah, you're going to have to take care of you and the ones you love. And the punishment in that religion is so severe and terrible, and there are people that are being punished for things they did decades ago. So, yeah.
I really like, we'll see, because the problem, you know what, I won't get into it. It's a historical discussion, but the thing about it is the worst punishment for any group are ritual humiliation, and that's what Scientologists do.
Yes.
And they take your entire family and they ritually humiliate them over and over and over again, in various escalating ways for like years.
Yep.
That's what happened to Ron Miscavige. Like, Dave Miscavige, to my knowledge, never murdered anybody. What he did was far worse. He literally took his entire family, and he was so addicted to power that he destroyed their lives systematically over years because he didn't want to give up control of a group of like 10,000 people. There's the number.
He's the last one of his family that's still in. None of his family's in it anymore. He's the only one. And the thing people don't realize is those, when you're on the cans, that stuff's not private. They record it all, write down in a book, and then if you leave, it suddenly becomes fair use. There's no privacy. There's no anything. It's just a terrible thing. And again, I don't want any Scientologists coming after me and watching me and all that jazz. Even though I live in a completely different country and they're not really here. I still don't want to have to deal with that. Stuff's come out where there was guys being paid millions of dollars to watch an ex-Scientologist, and the only reason we know about that is because the church didn't pay them 1 year. So I mean, they're not above it. They'll do whatever they want. As soon as they see you as a repressive person, you're done for. You're fair use to them. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with your bullshit. I was never part of your bullshit. So, and I mean, frick, you gotta pay so much money to find out all this info. It's just a terrible, terrible place. Just stay away, guys. If you're taking anything from this,
that's the bottom line.
Stay away. Don't associate with them. Anyone that you find out is part of them that is fully in, just stay away. Just stay away. You don't want to deal with that. It's scary and disheartening at the same time. But yes, no, I know a lot about religion and history, and
from anime to cults. What a stream.
Oh, you want to know about cults? Let's talk about Heaven's Gate. I'm just kidding.
I'll tell you something. So I'll tell you something fun. This keeps popping up on my timeline, like over and over and over again. Does anybody here know the show Danny Phantom?
Yes.
Yes.
So there's a character in Danny Phantom named Ember McLean. I don't know if anybody has heard the horrible, horrible things associated with this show, with this character. but apparently they decided to include her in some video game, and everybody's memeing about this dude. I really shouldn't laugh because it's actually a very dark matter. There was this guy, Randy Stair. I don't know if anybody's heard of him here. It's kind of an obscure story if you're not like a little too online.
No, I've not heard of them.
So I won't tell you the full story. I'll let you all have the fun of digging around. But the short version is there was this guy named Randy Stair, and he was obsessed with the Danny Phantom character Amber McLean to the point where he would make like little OCs based on her. And what happened was he became convinced that she wanted him to kill people so he could turn them into ghosts and take them with him to the ghost dimension, which he thought was real, apparently. And so he basically was like a spree killer, and he killed like 3 people at the place where he worked before killing himself.
I remember this.
Dark stuff. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, because it's a terrible thing that 3 people are dead because this kid couldn't get psychological help. So just disclaimer, I don't think that's funny, but what's a little goofy is you really need to watch the videos that he makes of himself talking about this, because it's so insane. It's kind of like, it's just so surreal to watch him.
Didn't he make his own OC too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's talking about like killing people, and in the background you can see like My Little Pony posters up on the wall and stuff. It's such a weird, surreal thing to watch. I don't know how to explain it.
It is bizarre. I have heard of this now that you mentioned that, and yes, he killed 3 innocent people who had nothing to do with anything, and then he committed suicide, didn't he? I shouldn't have said that. He unalived himself, didn't he?
Yes, he in Minecraft. He died in Minecraft. That's correct.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Jeez. Yes, remember, I had to say the S word. It should be fine. We're this far into the live stream, but also I gotta be careful about that. For some reason, YouTube really hates that word. I don't...
We're sorry, Susan. Mea culpa. It was just a slip of the lip.
I'm very much on the opinion that we should be talking about things like that, because I lost someone I loved.
I honestly feel like they're just copying the TikTok policy of that shit.
YouTube's older. YouTube has never liked the word, the unaliving word. Never liked unaliving in any way. I can understand the K word, but people do that, and it's very important to talk about it. So,
I mean, my wife tried to do that, so I understand like the need to discuss that sort of thing, and it's hard to be taken seriously when you have to use
unaliving,
cutesy, goofy little.
It's why
like Patton Oswalt said, what's worse? I want to F you in the P word, or I want to fill your hoo-ha with goof juice. Like, what's worse?
Yeah.
Just let us say the words.
Well, especially when we have gone like, hey, I'm not for kids. I'm not condoning it. I'm saying people have mental problems. Sometimes people need to reach out, and we need to be able to use the words. Like, you're not allowed to even use the word for people who are interested in children when you want to talk about that and what it means. Like, these words are words, and if you're not saying that that's what you want to do, that this person or these people have that tendency, and this is what I mean, but we can't say those words, it's like you are taking the actual proper power that these words actually mean away from them. We need to be able to have open and honest conversations, but when we can't say the words, it's hard to have the open-ended conversation. I know people who will put the meaning of those words on screen so that it's very clear when they use them, so that YouTube won't do anything because you didn't say it. It's more about words than it is about writing, thankfully. But to me, it's so stupid. Like, people, like, when you're trying to control speech, it becomes problematic, because at some point, unaliving is going to become that word too. They're going to take that away. Once you find a word that everyone understands what that means, they take that one away. It's like, we use that, so that we can get around your thing. And now we've got to come up with a new word. So now we got like 50 different words instead of just the one that we want to use. Sorry. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. It annoys me. We're not for kids. I'm not on YouTube Kids. I'm also not condoning these things. But these are things people do. And we already know what happens when you don't talk about it. Because I know many people who have had people that they loved who have probably done it. And not be able to talk about it, or seeing that there's shame in talking about it, is the reason why they can't get help. And it's annoying. And we're in 2023, and we need to grow the fuck up and be able to say the words that we need to. So people can get the help they need, so that their loved ones don't lose someone and be devastated. Yes, I'm very passionate about it. Especially since what yesterday was for me, so.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, it's so good. It is what it is. I hate September. September sucks. And today is a good day, but it's only for other reasons, and I won't mention why. But other days, no, I don't like September. It's my least favorite time of the year. I mean, this time of the month normally
behalf
is.
of all September babies, we forgive you.
I mean, September Dragon Auto is also birthdays in September, so got nothing to do with you guys. Yeah, no. It's just, YouTube has some stupid rules to help people that really doesn't help. As long as you're not condoning it, why can't we say these words? Why are you doing this? It's not your fault, September. It's got nothing to do with you. It's just two people that I really love that were born in September have both passed away, and it just makes it hard during those times. So, I mean,
yeah, I can only imagine.
So, he's passed away now, but my grandfather was born on 9/11.
Yeah.
And to this day, all I can think of is, there's no way to know that back in the 30s or 40s when he was born, but boy, was that an interesting time of year going, yeah, it's not a great time of year, but also I gotta phone my grandpa and wish him happy birthday. I don't know, has anyone else thought of this? 9/11, 911, do those two, did they do that on purpose? That the emergency number is 911, and they did it on 9/11?
Oh, but I like where this conspiracy theory is going.
Yeah, they gave us an emergency on that day. My nephew died from OD. Oh, that really sucks. I'm so sorry, Sydney. Yeah. See, apparently
I'm sorry, Sydney.
She doesn't like September either. September sucks. There's only 2 days in September that's okay, and the rest suck. It's your birthday and September's. That's it.
Yes.
The rest of them suck. That and you have to go back to school. No one likes to go back to school.
Yep, nerds.
Nerds! Nah, September's just, not my best time of year. I think she would have been 40. I think. No, she might have been more. I don't know how old she would have been. I don't even know what year my sister was born on, to be honest. Yeah, I can't do the math. I'm not good at math. Don't do math.
Yeah. Should I just get my son?
Okay, so... Actually, I should know the easier way of doing it now that I think about it. 46, probably. Mid to late 40s. Problem is, I don't know what year she was born in either. I'm like, not very, yeah. I don't have a good memory. I barely remember what year I was born in half the time.
Yeah. What's sad is like 2 months back, I had to ask Decay how old I was because I completely forgot if I was 33 or 34, and then I was turning 34 today.
My best friend, she was swearing up and down she was one age, and I looked her dead in the eyes going, you're not 2 years younger than me, you're 1 year younger than me. And she sat there and she looked at me, did the math, and she's like, son of a bitch, you just took a year from me. I'm like, no, you were that age no matter what. That was your age. I didn't take anything. And like for months afterwards, she's like, you took a year from me. I'm like, no, I didn't.
You can blame that on your parents.
Your parents are the one that decided to have you at that time. It's not my fault. I'm like working with adults that are born after 2000 now, and I just stare at them and I go, no, you baby, get back in your crib, go away. You're not legal drinking age yet. You're not allowed to vote. You can't drive a car. Get out of here. And then I have to do what year it is and go, I guess that's right. I just feel old. I'm going to go in my corner. I remember when it was. I work with people who weren't even alive for 9/11. I'm like, what? You were. What? Like, yeah, it's definitely one of those things that brought, like, every generation that has a tragedy, like, brings it together. My dad said, like, the Challenger was one of the big ones when he was growing up. And now it's, like, now it's 9/11 for our generations and stuff. And it's just, like, and then just define the generation after that, and you're just like, you weren't even born anymore. You were just, what? Get out of here. You're not allowed to be old enough to do any of this stuff. Go back to your YouTube kid stuff. I don't know. Just get out of here. Go away. I'm not that old. I'm 16.
And all the other shit.
Go eat all your candy and leave me alone. I'm not that old. I'm still a baby at heart. Don't worry. One day we all get old and then realize, damn, kids are dumb. I mean, what? I mean, I'm getting
to that point in my life where I'm finding muscles in my back that I didn't know that I had.
Oh.
Where I just sit up and my back goes, hi! You know that I exist?
Oh, I see. I lie in bed and my body does that now. Like, my back is hooped. I got COVID and I coughed so hard I pulled a rib, and it moved to my back and flared up an old injury to the point where my whole back is now just one giant. I don't feel good. Yeah. So.
Oh.
No, I've been
Sorry,
feeling
I'm not laughing
old
at your
for a
pain.
while.
I'm laughing at his reaction.
You know what the worst part is? I know the exact day that I pulled that rib. You know why?
Tell.
I was on MCT's live stream when I coughed so hard I pulled it. Yep, I felt it. I had to. Yep. So it's MCT's fault.
A painful reminder.
MCT is the reason why I pulled that rib. She made me laugh so hard I had a coughing fit that pulled a rib. It's her fault. Never forgive her. It's totally her fault.
I smell a lawsuit.
I'll take one of her chickens. I'll take Jeffrey.
Take Jeffrey.
I don't know if she still has that chicken or not, but that's all I can think of is Jeffrey. Hey, woo woo. Hi. Hey, princess. Lulu. Lulu, can you grumble? Come on. No, she's being a little hard-headed husky that she is.
No, Mama, wanna.
She's actually very quiet for a husky. Like, you guys never hear her on the live stream. She barely ever talks. She only howls once in a very blue moon, and that's only when she's outside and there is a fire truck or police car goes by with their sirens on. And even that's rare. Like, she sometimes even howls at that anymore. Does that water taste good, Lulu? I don't know if you guys can hear her licking up the water. I'm pretty sure the live stream can, because it doesn't have the sound canceling that the Discord has. Duchess of Darkness. My son's birthday is this month, so there's one redeeming thing about this month, but that's about it. Apparently no one likes September.
Evidently.
You have to go back to school. Fall's coming. I mean, the leaves are changing, so that's pretty. But you know the cold winters. You know winter's coming, and no one wants to remember that winter's coming.
False. I am looking forward to the winter and the fall. I fucking hate the heat.
Well, see, I love fall and I love spring. I hate winter and summer. I hate the extremes. I like the in-between seasons.
Same.
That's acceptable.
And I have already started my Christmas shopping. Sydney is so ahead of things. I haven't even thought about that. I mean, we put out our Christmas decorations. I remember we put it out a week earlier than we were supposed to. And I had people looking at us and looking at it going, this is too early for Halloween. And I looked them dead in the eyes and went, we've had it for 2 weeks and now we're finally putting it out. Might as well sell it. And they're like, eh, and then walk away. I'm like, it's got to go out at some point. Might as well do it when we have time. In September, no one likes me. But you have September Dragon. September Dragon we like. We just don't like the month of September.
Also, September, I like you. You're cool. You can hang out with us.
He likes September. He thinks September is good.
Yes.
I think September
is the middle finger to summer, and is also my birthday month. So yes.
August, actually, you know where I live, we've had snow in August before, so it's not like we don't see.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, yeah. Walking around Alberta gets snow sometimes. Though this whole year we've got nothing but smoke, cause of fires.
Yeah.
As the Raven Dreams had a thing going. Okay. Dear Canada, could you please stop sending us smoke, so I can breathe? Thank you. And I wrote back, no, if we have to choke, you have to as well. Canada.
I think my response was just like, I think their geese is the answer you were seeking or something like that.
I mean, even the geese are running away right now. Like, no, it's too much smoke. We make us it's too spicy. The air is spicy. We don't like spicy air. Yeah, we've had some. We haven't had it like all the time where I am. The smoke has disappeared for a while, but yeah, when it gets here, it's just like I'm just like, oh my god, we need rain wherever these fires are, and we need it now. Like, these need to go out. And every time it rains here, I'm like, please, wherever the fires are, please be raining there too. Like, help the poor firefighters.
Amen.
Like.
Well, now I just thought of the quote from the one of the SpongeBob episodes. Yeah, do it for the firefighters.
SpongeBob can't even get fires. They're underwater. My favorite episode of SpongeBob is I don't need it. I don't need it.
The Kay and I laugh so hard when we hear it in Spanish every single time.
What do they say in Spanish?
I think it's like necesito, no necesito, necesito, necesito.
I and my wife, our favorite episode is the hash slinging slasher.
God.
The hash pinging the hash, pinging the hash, ringing. And the great thing is, we actually like it so much. There's actually there was this group of dudes on YouTube. They would make live action versions of SpongeBob. So it'd just be normal people, right? But they're dressed as the characters from SpongeBob and doing like the weird little physical quirks.
Yeah.
And they found a kid who looks and acts exactly like you would expect SpongeBob to look and act if he was a human. And they found this dude who looks and acts exactly like you think Squidward would look and act if he was a human. It's not like in a weird way. It's just they have the energy down. And they did a live action version of that episode. And it was 50 times funnier because there's the scene where SpongeBob screams. He just kind of screams for like 2 minutes. And they do the pan out in the episode. Well, they did this in real life. So they're in like an actual fast food restaurant. And this kid who's dressed in a white shirt and suspenders with like big rainbow straps is just standing there screaming. And they pan out. And there's just this couple sitting in the corner of a Wendy's just watching them like, what the hell is going on? It's amazing.
What's going on here? Why is that kid screaming? I wonder what September's original idea was. Was it not September Dragon Audio? Oh, I couldn't imagine. I don't even know what we would do if I'm sitting in the fast food and someone started screaming out of nowhere. I'm like, sir, are you okay? Do you need an adult?
Shit. I'm so sorry. I'm so dumb. I just figured it out. I figured out why the Randy Stair shit keeps popping up on Twitter. Because it's September. That's a lyric from the song. From the character's song.
Oh.
I can't believe I just figured that out. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I just realized because it's from the stinking song.
Can't wait for September.
Well, that mystery song.
Wake me up after September.
It's from the Ember song. You all have to go dig around in this story. I can't get into it. I cannot do it justice. It's so insane. It is probably the top 3 or 4 crazy things I've heard off of the internet. There's no way I can do it justice.
Yeah. Actually, apparently September was going to go with Dragon Boyfriend ASMR.
Interesting. Okay.
Interesting. I can't get into ASMR.
That might actually be a good idea because ASMR in the title really helps people September. You might want to rebrand maybe because, yeah, a bunch of the ASMR channels that I see, they have ASMR in their names. Just gonna say, some people love ASMR and some people can't stand it. It's a love-hate thing. Like, you either love it or you hate it. Because it's bizarre. For me, I do listen to ASMR, but it can't be talking. It has to just be sounds for me. And I use it when I'm recording so that I can just stay calm. Because some days, I won't lie, I have almost tried to pick up my computer and throw it out the window. And it's got nothing to do with the computer. It's me. But I can't pick myself up and throw me out the window. So...
That's your Patrick Star.
Yeet! No, there are days where I get so frustrated with my dyslexia. I just get so frustrated. Like I've had to walk away from my computer a couple times because I was like gonna start breaking something, and all my equipment's very expensive, except for the keyboard and mouse, and that's about it. Keyboard and mouse is where I cheaped out. It's not integral to what I'm doing. Actually. The funny part is most people would sit down on my computer would not be able to use it because I use a trackball mouse instead of a regular mouse because my desk is too small for a regular mouse.
Jeez.
It's too small. I can't. I don't have the moving around ability, so I just use a trackball. And I actually like it a lot better because I don't have to move my hand nearly as much. It's just my thumb.
So you're saying if we cut off your thumb, you can't narrate. Got it. Let's do it.
I'll just switch it to my other hand. I can use my finger. I can use my fingers. Yeah, I can use my fingers. You're fine. As long as I can use my big stubby. You're hooked. I can narrate no matter what. Now, if you cut off my arms to my shoulder blades, yeah, maybe screwed. Then I'd have to learn how to use my feet, and I don't want to do that. I've seen people use the feet thing. I'm like, ugh, that. You know, if you need to, you need to, but at the same time, fuck, no, I'm good.
Unfortunately, lady and gentleman, I have to depart. My beautiful Asian wife wants me to start mowing the lawn. So it's been tons of fun. You guys take care.
You too.
I hope your September is getting better. And 42, I hope you have a good day. Sorry, it's such a sad occasion, but I hope you do okay. I know how that sort of thing goes.
Before you go, just say hello to Jimmy Hoare. He just showed up.
Oh God, I'm so sorry, Jimmy. I'm sorry. You show up and I leave. Yes. Hi, Jimmy. And if you're not listening to Jimmy Horrors or the Nights In podcast, you really freaking should be, because that stuff is phenomenal. And After the Gloaming, that's also a good podcast. But Jimmy's like one of the best, present company excluded, the best narrators I've ever heard. So please check his stuff out. I beg of you.
I know I've worked with him. I just don't have a link for him down below. But I mean, there's his name right there.
There it is, right there, right down there. Just gotta go down there, down, scroll. There you go, right there.
Shut up, is what he said. Or stop it. I think it's supposed to be stop it.
You don't tell me what to do, Jimmy. You don't freaking tell me what to do.
You go mow that lawn. Don't have too much fun. Soon you won't need to
Only
anymore.
his wife gets to tell him what to do.
Only his wife.
Well, I mean, that's how it goes, man. It's the way it is.
It's somewhere in that marriage contract.
It's like I'm a man. Nobody tells me what to do. I was like, could you get the laundry? Yes, honey.
yeah, that's exactly what
happened. Man, oh, you don't tell me what to do. Could you turn off the anime and please go and do the laundry? All right, there you go.
All right, you have a
you guys have a good day, and I hope everything is okay, and I hope to see more work from you guys soon.
Of course, every week.
Of course.
Every week.
Every week, every day, technically.
Dear God.
Shut up. Have a good one. And I wanted to say hello, Daddy Stone and Alt Night. You're never late. You're just on time, Alt Night. And, of course, Jimmy Horrors. I just want to say Jimmy Horror, but it does have an S. Jimmy's Horrors. Jimmy's Horrors. Jimmy's Horrors. Anyways,
Ow. That last one. Jimmy's Horrors. I think you're way off on that one.
I know I have said horror stories instead of horror stories before. It's not that far off. It's really not. And some of the stories I've read, pretty fucking close. Pretty freaking close. It's not lying. Some of them I'm like, why did I read that one? Oh, right, because I needed a story. Jimmy, we have a rebranding for you. You might not be able to be on YouTube anymore, though. Might need to make you an OnlyFans. It's fine.
Ow.
You can get away with that. And yes, Dragon.
Mr. R leaves for not even a minute, and we just changed the entire stream. Okay.
It's me. I do that all the time. I change on a dime. I do a 180, 360, an ollie. I don't know. Anyways, went to skateboarding references. Not sure how that will go down. Yeah.
Oh, it's for real.
It has been a while, alternate night, but it's also my first time back since my month of hiatus.
Indeed.
It was nice to take that month off. I needed it. I needed to recenter myself and rethink of how I was doing things.
And then there's me who doesn't learn and just accepts collabs on top of supposedly being on hiatus.
Yeah, I told you, and of course, if Raven also needed it, you and Phoenix, if you guys needed me, like you were the exception. I actually did turn down a couple collabs. People reached out to me. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing anything. So, no, it was
Yeah,
it was
man,
a
when you need a break, you need a break.
yeah. You also, I don't know how when she needs it, you could turn around and go, look, I am on a break. I don't really have the time for this right now, but when I get back again, or so we can slowly chip away at it through the month if you want. If you need a break, you need a break, man.
Yep.
Like, I went to go do the live stream. I didn't have a guest at the time, and I'm like, I don't even want to do the live streams. I don't want to do anything. I just didn't want. I did some pre-recordings on some stuff, but I took my time and relaxed and played a lot of Baldur's Gate 3. I still need to play more.
I am so jealous because I can't play yet.
Oh, it's, you know what? The characters are really well written, and the story is really good.
Absolutely.
I did a media block on the game, so I didn't let myself really look anything about it. I didn't even know when it came out either, so that's great. But I did a total media block on it because I didn't want to know what the story was, because they are so bad at giving away really crucial things way too early. It is so good at Turn of Night. It is well worth the money. Like, I screwed up and had to restart. I played it a second time and from the beginning, and it is so worth it because you get to make whatever you want. Did I tell you what I named my character?
I think you did, and then I completely forgot, so you might as well just remind me.
I will remind everyone here. I will tell everyone what I decided to make. I made a halfling. So those are really small little guys. A paladin, which is a holy knight of vengeance. And named her Tiny Justice.
Oh my god.
So I have a tiny little thing that has a sword. Actually, now it's an axe bigger than her, swinging around and killing things. And she's like the meat shield. And it's so funny. It's not the first time I made Tiny Justice. If you ever played Final Fantasy 14, they have these things called Lalafels, and they're really small. And I made her the smallest I could, called her Tiny Justice, and literally was Sword of Justice, Fireball of Justice. Like, literally would just make stupid jokes like that. I'm not doing that because I'm not playing with multiplayers this time, but in my head, it's Smite of Justice! You will all die in the name of justice!
My gods.
And I'm totally romancing Shadowheart. I like the little emo girl.
I mean, I can't blame you. I mean, for me, it's totally Karlach.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you say it.
Yeah, Karlach. I love Karlach. I love the little not the little but the tiefling on fire. Like, she's literally on fire. Quite literally.
Yeah. The very first time I heard that one line, I don't know if I could say it here, so I'm not going to. But yeah, I blushed really freaking hard.
She is so, like, everyone is so down to earth. They're real people. Like, they're like, you could see someone creating these characters. Like, each one of them really feels like someone sat there and created these characters from the ground up.
Absolutely.
I love Gale. I hate him in some ways, but I absolutely love him. I love the rogue. I can never remember his name.
I can't either. Like, I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember his name.
It starts with A. Anyways, I love him, and so far his character arc has been really good. Shadowheart, there's been some really good backstory for her that's been coming out too. Karlach is really good, and then you have Wyll, and I think it's like Will is how you pronounce it, I believe. And he's really good too. Like, I'm not very good with names. It's just how I am. I think they're classes in my head. It's just how I think. And then you can get there is a paladin drow that you can get as well, but I didn't get her because you have to play evil to get her. So,
Of course.
yeah, which would make sense. I actually recently did some research on drow, and there are two sects. There's the evil normal sect, and then there's the ones that are actually above ground that aren't evil. And they worship two different gods, and it's really interesting. Like, just
Also sad.
why is it sad?
I mean,
The drow and
sad in the sense of like the drow themselves. It's just.
Oh, it's they are completely worshiping this evil spider goddess, like who literally couldn't care less about them.
Start off with like getting tricked into it, and then they worshipped her, and now it's like they don't really have much of a say. And then you got this goddess that helps the drow that are above ground, and it's just like,
and you know what's even worse?
She's trying so hard to like
free them.
She's practically sacrificing the fact that she didn't do shit.
Yep.
It was just like, no, I'm gonna take the hit for this one because I'm gonna do everything I can to save these people. These elves.
You know why, right?
Yeah.
It's because that's her mom.
God. No.
Yeah, she's the daughter.
I can't even imagine that shit. Like, oh, well, I had all this paradise, and then my mom fucked it up for both me and her.
Yes, and her brother. And her brother is also evil, though.
Yeah.
And then their father is actually good, too. Like, I actually started reading the lore on it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so good.
I ended up devouring so many D&D video lores just on sheer principle.
Yeah, and it's all, most of it has to do in the world that Baldur's Gate takes place in, which is the Forgotten Realms.
Everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But yes, I played Baldur's Gate 1 as a kid, and I never did get to Baldur's Gate.
Sad.
I went to the bridge so many times, like, why can't I get across? It takes forever to get to Baldur's Gate. Like, forever. And then you find out the actual stories. I beat it finally as I got into adult because I found a cheat code where I couldn't die. To be fair, it had been 20 years, and I had tried to play legit many times. I just wanted to know the story, man.
That's fair.
I gave it my all, and it's also D&D 2. It's not D&D 3.5, which is what most of us grew up with. So it's a lot. It's way different. AC has to be lower for it to actually, the lower your AC, the better, which every other one was the higher, the better. So it's a lot different. 2.0 is really weird. It's so weird.
Yeah, I hear that like D&D, the best ones were 3.5 and 5 itself
5
have been really good.
4, they were trying something new, but they didn't actually get it tested with players. They did they got computers to do it. And that's why it didn't work out. 3.5 is one of the best they ever did. And then Pathfinder came out, which is what everyone calls is 3.75, which they took the problems with 3.5 and made it better. So, and they just used all the open source stuff. So, of course, there's no beholders in it and stuff like that. But, like, D&D is mostly open source. So, most of it. But beholders, and there's, like, 1 or 2 more monsters that you can't use that are strictly owned by Wizards of the Coast, but everything else is free use. And I mean, and truth be told, in a game like that where you have to create your own characters and you literally build them from the ground up, then to have them tied permanently to a system where you might not like them, I can get that. I can get with it being open source. September's old enough that he played D&D 1, the original.
God damn, that's old. I mean, I'm so sorry that slipped out, but damn, that's really, wow.
Yeah, 3.5.
I didn't mean to say that out loud, but oh my god, that is really old.
3.5 had just come out when I started thinking about D&D, so.
I honestly, okay, here's the thing. When I was growing up, D&D was like for nerds supposedly or whatever, and I feel bad because I obviously learned way later how good D&D really is. Honestly, one of my very first introductions into D&D, which I didn't even know it was Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 1 and 2. Those were
Mm-hmm.
my introductions to D&D. I was just like, I didn't even know that these were D&D. I just really loved the hell out of this game to the point where I played it at least 10 times per sequel. And then I don't even know, like years later I was working at PetSmart, and I was just like, man, bump into this one video for Puffin Forest, and I'm like,
I
you
love
know,
Puffin
if
Forest.
if I fucking love him too. The shenanigans that he
He's
just
done,
ends up
and his
posting.
players have done. My
Yes.
favorite is the monolith that they're not supposed to touch, and they did. Total party wipe? No, it wasn't a somehow it was not a total party wipe. How did they survive that? They should be dead.
Honestly, I think he was just being nice to
No,
them
he
and
said
just
flat
felt
out
bad.
that it couldn't do enough damage to them, and they couldn't
Oh
do enough
yeah.
damage to it, and there was a time thing. So, yeah, no, he was only supposed to be around for like 4 or 5 rounds, so that's why they were able to survive it. But yeah, he couldn't do enough damage to them, and they couldn't do enough damage to it. But it was 100% luck that they didn't die. Like, oh my god. Yes, you guys are too spicy for a meal. I will see you another time. Like, leave her alone. And I'm not at a timetable. He just has great voices. I love Puffin Forest.
Me too. He got me into D&D, and I played with my own house rule that was just. I'll probably talk about it another time, but man, that was not even close to 5e, and I was having a great time. And then little by little, we ended up forming a group, and then it kind of died out because of personal reasons I won't say here. But yeah, then we picked up, and now we're playing a 5e version of Ghost of Saltmarsh, and it seems like my players are having a good time, and I actually get to run it tonight, so I'm looking forward to that.
Sweet. No. I played 3.5 a little bit, but I played 5e more. There's so many books for 3.5. It's ridiculous. The problem was at some point you really needed the online ability for it because there's just so many books, and you don't want, they're like 50-60 bucks a pop, like to have that many books. It's just, and then store them. But 5e, they're coming out with more books, but there's a lot of modules with 5e, more than there has been books to add. But for my last 5e character, I was playing a twin tiefling, and then my friend realized that she actually wanted to play an ASMR. So we decide, yeah, she's an ASMR, and that she had a disguise on her this whole time that made her look like a tiefling. She still has the she didn't get the ASMR, like she got the wings and stuff, but she still has the tiefling like rules, so she has still the speaking like a tiefling stuff, and still has like the powers. She didn't get the ASMR powers completely. We kind of we jerry-rigged that one together just because they weren't they weren't even something that you could be originally, and then we had been playing for so long that they came out with them, and she's like, oh, I would love to play those. I was like, that'd be so cool to have a devil and angel as twin sisters or sisters.
I'm not gonna lie, that does sound badass.
And then we have one character who keeps mentioning about something about her twin sister disappearing, but his name's literally called Redacted. And then there was, we didn't finish it, and I need to ask my husband exactly what that was about, but because he was the DM. When we tried to name him the Crazy Dwarf, the name disappeared out of our brains because we gave him a name. He's not allowed to have a name. It was really cool.
Dwarf that's not allowed to have a name.
Yeah,
That
we
is
were fine.
interesting.
We were fine out. I knew a couple things about him for why that was a thing, but I basically had a curse on him to my knowledge. So, all right, we're gonna last ad play, and then we're going to do our quick wrap up, guys. This is weird.
Alrighty.
YouTube's done some weird. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna hit this ad. We'll skip it. So I know you're on hiatus. Is there anything that you wanted to mention about your channel that you want people to check out before we wrap up?
Yeah, I mean, you can just check out our channel altogether, but for now, we have actually just got done with the script last week for the. I know a lot of people seem to really had liked my really. It was a pretty traumatic dream story, but basically it's the Mansion on the Hill, and I now have a sequel to it. We're gonna Decay and I, starring October, the first Thursday in October. We're gonna be able to sit down, record, and we'll have that for Halloween. So you guys get the original, but in a lot better quality because thanks to Furberry's helping us like learn better tricks and stuff like that. It's actually gonna sound a lot better than it originally did. So there's that, and then you get the sequel, and then we actually have in the works our Christmas video, even though it's September, but we're still working on it because I think it's gonna be a. I had this crazy idea for the I didn't mean for it to become a trilogy. It just was one of those things that just became what it is. And so yeah, we're gonna end the entire thing for the Mansion on the Hill for Christmas as a trilogy, and I hope you guys enjoy it. As far as the 5th chapter for No Return, 242 is actually gonna be on it, but I am thinking that we'll probably start getting the recordings and things done mid-November. So yeah, I'm hoping we can get it done in September and by the end of December as well. But based on how long it took the 4th chapter, I don't see us being done with the 5th chapter until next year in January.
Damn. Yeah, I remember. I think you gave me that story for one of my collabs way back when, and I was like, "That was a dream! Holy cow!"
Yeah, I mean, it was that. Yeah, there's the Mansion on the Hill was a horrible nightmare that was just a reoccurring one throughout me dating Decay, which I feel bad saying out loud, but facts be facts.
It's just because you knew you were gonna get stuck with kids. That's the nightmare.
Yeah.
You knew she would make you raise some kids.
Yep, and just like the usual protagonist in any horror story, I was the idiot who went along with it and then died anyway. So yay! Honestly, though, that is nothing in comparison to the Deep Within the Bowel story. That was actually based on my phobia over the fact that at some point I found out that I had a parasite in my intestines.
Oh, geez.
So yeah. I'm cleared now, thank the gods. But at the time, it was terrifying. And it was so terrifying. I ended up turning it into a story. So yeah, fun facts for you.
Fair. That's fair. I get that. Ugh. No, I'm good. I'm good. Nope. Don't want to think about that.
You're welcome.
I get new nightmares unlocked. Congratulations. So tomorrow is going to be Glitch in the Matrix for 242 Reads and 242 Slumbers, as always. And then the week after that is going to be Fictional Stories. So, yeah.
Sweet.
So, yeah, and...
It's okay. It's okay, Alt. It is what it is. It happened, and I'm over it. It's just...
He wrote a
it's
story
just one of
about
those
it.
things is like, it was so traumatic that I thought, I'll turn it into a story. And it did pretty well.
Sometimes it's quite astounding what you can come up with that turn out to be really good stories. Mine are always the what ifs. So yeah, tomorrow's Glitch in the Matrix, and then as always, and then of course every single day you get those 2-sentence horrors for you guys. And that's about it. So I hope you guys have a great Saturday and a great rest of your day. And thank you to my guests for joining me, even though the one that had already left because his wife demanded that he go mow the lawn.
It is what it
My
is.
brain just went, bye. Come back here. I only need you for a couple more seconds. So I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you next Saturday. Bye.
Ooh. Bye.